January the 16th, 2025, and Desiree and I are here doing the tiny home tours. It's no secret that we live off grid and we're always in the market for some new tiny homes. We've found so many different cool options, and depending on the size,
two doors to this tiny bathroom.
depending on the size.
You can reach out both doors at the same time. Oh my god, why would they put a door here? And the toilet paper holder is on the back of the door.
Oh no. Depending on the size and your orientation, I mean, sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. That is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know why they would do
Did you see
that.
the two beds in here?
No, but I believe you. So something like this, how many people does that sleep?
4.
Something like this is 33,000 euros, not Canadian dollars, not American dollars, but euros. Actually, we're looking at it, it's comparable, the price in euros is comparable to American dollars right now, so lucky Americans. So, I mean, none of these are super fashionable from the outside, but the inside is currently better than, like, any of the insides of these places currently better than what we're currently living in.
Look at all the space.
So the tiny home that we have is like not as much space as this. I would love to have a furnace, a gas powered furnace. I could run it on the colder nights in the evening. And this is an awesome amount of space. Like for us, we don't need a lot of space, but we need more than what we have. Another thing we're thinking about is having guests on the farm stay. We're thinking about getting just a couple small, like 1-bedroom units like this, so that you stay with us and you can just hang out in a 1-bedroom instead of, it's just like another amenity, right? Instead of having to offer everyone that they have to stay in an RV or in a tent or in a camper. You give them a 1-bedroom and say, hey, come to our farm stay. It's an option. Just another option. So we're always in the market. This one's nice. Again, it's just something.
I don't like the carpet.
Yeah, the carpet is,
This is just a toilet in here. Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
So when you buy one of these, the price includes them getting it to your land and setting it up and leveling it out. And then you would have to hook everything up. So here's all their instant hot water tank and all that. Ooh, made in England, says right on it. Yeah. So it's a lot to think about.
It's a really nice space. Like, big
That's a
space.
nice and big. The carpet doesn't do it for Desiree. So they're all different, they're not going to be the same. We've seen really small ones half the size of this. And also you're kind of constrained as to what you can get down your roads as well. So they want you to measure the roads and the drivers will get it there. But yeah, lots of options here in Portugal. Wow. Off-grid living is super easy. Yeah, I can smell it, and there's yellow on the ceiling. But if you combine something like this with some solar panels on the top, you can really live off grid in relative comfort. Imagine you could live off grid in something like this. Maybe not these couches. Yikes. The 1980s called. This is not tile. This is linoleum flooring. So Desiree is so not interested. She just left. So I'll follow her. The 1-bedroom units that we saw were really cute and made in France. So like I said, some of them are really nice and some of them are kind of like, meh. But if you shop around, you can find the right thing and you can live off grid and get a septic tank or figure out how you're plumbing it in. And everyone wins. It's like bowing in the middle. Do you see that? To me, it looks like it's bowing right in the middle. It's huge, yeah.
Double the length of ours.
Yeah. So we love tiny homes. Like there's better ones and worse ones. There's some nice wood panel ones down there that we'll take a look at. And it's really up to you and how much you're willing to spend. But we've noticed that they start at around 10,000 euros and go up from there for the one bedrooms.
I want to know what this is for.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple places.
There's one in our house. Is it like for towels? Someone tell us, please.
They're bags? I don't know. Ding pong.
Look at all the storage.
Yeah, so much storage. Oh, I was just playing with the unglued linoleum. Cool. Ooh, a fridge. Yeah, so...
They call this a full-size fridge. Freezer.
Well, for Europe, this is a full-size fridge.
It smells like beer.
Nice. Let's get wasted.
Oh.
So if you had 10,000 euros to spend, right? So if you want to do the math on this, living off grid, this particular one is 38,450 euros, as you can see. But for example, let's take a seat here and do some math. You're thinking about living off grid in Portugal and taking Adam and Desiree's advice for the 300 days of sun every year. You okay?
The hot water heater says, any problems? Press and hold reset button for 5 seconds.
Any problems?
Any problems? Ta-da!
That's a magic button. So if you want to count the costs, which I've done in my other videos, like one is the costs of living off grid. So buy the land, start with that. Maybe you can buy some land for 60,000, 70,000 euros, move a tiny home on it, right? For 10,000 euros. And then I could get you off grid with electricity for less than 5,000 euros. So for less than 100,000 euros, I could get you off grid living in Portugal, roughly. Electricity wise, definitely less than 5,000 euros, maybe even 3,000 euros you could get off grid here, electricity wise, with solar panels and all the other things, wind turbines. The units here, yeah, you can buy some land that you could move, like an agricultural land or somewhere where you can zoned that you could move things with wheels onto, and you can live almost virtually anywhere in one of these places. And I think it's easy to make fun of people who live in tiny homes or trailers, but when you look at, we've been saying, when you look at how they're being built nowadays, like, let's be honest, this is a lot better living situation than a lot of people in the world are living in. Let's be real. And the newer ones have like high ceilings, nice furniture. This is not the greatest ones that we've seen. We've seen like Casa Diff ones that are like 300,000 euros or more. But entry level ones that are, you know, that you could live in are 10,000.
Well, so
Yeah.
it's not brand new furniture or anything.
We've looked at a few kind of like this one that we're walking towards right now. But yeah, because we have kids, we're looking for two different things. We're looking for one for ourselves to upgrade into, and then separately we're looking into something that people who come and visit us can stay in, like a one bedroom. So we want to buy, for Love Farm Stay, we want to buy 2 more tiny homes. And because we have so much land, we can fit 2, 3, 4, 5. We can fit a whole tiny town of tiny homes in our place because we have so much land. So this one here,
So waiting cleaning, so they haven't priced it.
they have not priced it out yet. But if I was to venture to guess, I would say
Smokers look here. We don't
50.
even have to look at it.
wow. No, thanks. We can't handle the smoke. You didn't want the smoke. These are really long. What the heck? I like this wooden panel one.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, you can get my point. Depending on what your tiny home costs and what your living expenses are, that's up to you. That's a variable. The land, if you want to get like agricultural land or land that you can put tiny homes on, then that's up to you to find. But yeah, your price range should be under 100,000, depending on the size of land. And then you pull one of these guys on, I get you off grid, and Bob's your uncle. You're living in 300 days of sun, living your dream life.
Oh, see, this is furnished.
And you can own it all outright.
This one smells new.
Ah, yeah, that
I
smells
think
good.
that sounds new.
Look at that. We've stayed
Yeah,
in
what is that?
we've stayed in rentals in France that were not as big as this. We stayed in a hotel in France. I was like so cramped. 36,000 euros. 36,000 euros would include this whole thing is now yours, and they bring it to your property and set it up on a level. Oh, neat. Set it up and level it out.
Oh, look at the shower in here.
One issue that I've seen with payments is they don't want payment plans. They want you to pay.
And they don't want you to use a credit card either.
Yeah, they want you to pay basically upfront because they're not interested in payment plans. A lot of these tiny home places. Brand new toilet. So the next thing would be once it's delivered to your property, you have to either prep the surface underneath, like with plumbing, or figure out is the company going to plumb it for you? You have to have that conversation with them. And if you want a septic tank, which I would recommend if you plan on having people over or you have a family, they got to poop somewhere. So the tubes and whatnot will basically have to go from under the unit and go underground into a septic tank, and then you'll have to have a water supply, which to me, as far as water supply goes, we've talked about this in the cost of living off-grid playlist, but you need to be near water. If ideally, find somewhere where there's a river running through, find somewhere off-grid if you plan on doing this whole thing of living off-grid. If you don't want to build your own cabin, find somewhere like that you can pull one of these trailers onto, or tiny homes. Desiree and I were stuck on the Seacan homes for probably like 5 years in Canada. We were like, we're going to do the Seacan home thing. And then when we really started drilling down into it, we realized that all the modifications that people are doing to the Seacan homes are making them collapse. And then we viewed a few Seacan homes here, and we saw exactly that, where the roof is leaking, the windows are sideways, and wow, holy crap. Like when you cut holes in a Seacan, the roof starts collapsing and the walls lose their structural integrity. Who would have thought? But as far as prep work goes, to dig a trench for a pipe and then to put a septic tank, 20, 30 feet away from the building, ideally on a slope downwards, so that helps your poo and pee and whatnot get into the septic tank. That's not really that big of a deal. You could do it by hand. It would take a while, or rent a bobcat and dig a hole. But all these things, again, I'm still saying under 100,000, I could get you off grid pretty easily here. If you want to really go on the cheap end of it and you're a single guy, for example, say 10,000 euros for the tiny home.
This one has central heating.
Say you get lucky and 60,000 for the land. You're at 70,000. 5,000 to get you off grid with electricity. You're at 75,000 euros. What I'm saying is it's all doable. 75,000 euros. Let's say 80. So this whole retirement, package of retiring to Portugal, you can do it and own it all outright for 80,000 euros. So this whole, you need to be a millionaire. Nope. You can just retire to Portugal with 80,000 euros. Of course, you need to have some type of income after that, but you would anyway. Even the elderly need some type of income to pay for things, right? So get yourself an income if you can figure that out. You can plant things and sell them. You can do some online business or stock trading. This is really nice, this one. How much is this?
Yeah, this one's 60 grand.
60,000 euros.
It's brand new and pussy.
I like it.